So with the 7.0 patch coming imminently for Genshin, I figured let's take a look at the north of the map. And yeah, here's the post-world quests north of the island, and I'm switching to the camera. So first off, I am near that boss that you fight, and we just see the north of Nodcrow. There's not very much up the north of there. We see the cannon off to the side. That is a heck of a weapon. And zooming in and teleporting. As soon as I find the exact point and click. Let's go. So from here we flee the grasp of the darkness and keep travelling over towards the edge of the north of Nodcry. I'm looking forward to going from beyond Nodcry into Snezhnaya, and we're going to just avoid those birds by camera teleporting. So currently Snezhnaya looks like this. It's kind of boring because, well, we see the north of Nodcrow and then we see Snezhnaya, and it looks kind of boring right now. That is because until the new patch goes live, that is placeholder textures, and I look forward to climbing that island. But kind of hope they give us, it'd be cool if there was a permanent ferry option that you can, just interact with and it just takes you across. Every island needs that because, I don't want to have to use the teleports or pre-arrange moving the boat. Now, I'm here at the Institute of whatever research that seems to be impressively floating. So much of it just randomly floats despite exploding. Hey, that giant mech thing that the village elves built. So on one of the last bit of north floating blocks, we see a bit more of the north. Now, Snezhnaya is kind of boring in the pre 7.0. Pre 7.0 Snezhnaya is placeholders. I'm looking forward to seeing how that changes very soon. Today, in fact. And going across and looking across, we see some of the interesting textures around the north of Mondstadt. And on the subject of north of Mondstadt, let's head over to the asylum. And yes, I cleared those enemies out. But yeah, we see some rather interesting bits of terrain to the north, which is kind of cool. They did something interesting with it. I wonder when we're going to get access to that. Probably late 7 series patches. Like that's Fontaine. That's not Fontaine. That's closer to us. Some of that is potentially Snezhnaya, and we'll see just how much of it changes with the next patch. And we've got those. I want to go on those. I was so as soon as this whole north of Mondstadt map section is incomplete. There's whole parts missing, and you can't even go on the top of one of the cliffs, which is a shame. So I hope there's another region expansion that finishes it and maybe even adds in a boss on the Cape. Or not on the Cape, what's the term for it? The Point? Yeah, the Point. Near the near there. But yeah. So yeah, we see heading over towards Natland, the area that people have forgotten. And Hoyoverse. So they're in the top of the volcano, and I'm just guessing the northwest. But yeah, we look over here and we see kind of the north of the map from the furthest point out in Natland. It's not really going to change that much, apart from a little bit of Snezhnaya, although that placeholder island might one day become something else. Hopefully. And they want this game to run for more than 10 years. They hopefully have got some content planned for the open world, and here we are on that area above that area that was really hard for a lot of us back in 2020. And looking at the north of Lewa north of Lewa and Mondstadt, between Mondstadt and Fontaine, and near Dragonspine. Not Dragonspine, near De Valen's lair / Old Mondstadt. So it's an interesting lot of textures, and we see bits of some of the Fontanian broken bridges. And more of Fontaine. And scrolling out, we might see some of Shania in there. I wonder what's going to change. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I look forward to 7.0. I hope you do too.